like, so thank you. All right, so it's time to have some fun. Who's ready to have a little fun tonight? We are going to do a little bit of a twist on our traditional celebrity comics. So please welcome back to the stage our man who is about to get roasted here, or at least lightly roasted, Mr. Steve Smith and his beautiful wife. We have the hot seat right here for you folks. Nice and comfy. They asked for a coffee table for their beverages, clearly getting highly intoxicated for the night. In perfect Steve Smith fashion. All right, so we're going to bring up your first presenter for the evening. This gentleman is the president at Sunvolt Financial, originally from Quincy, Illinois. Came to Mizzou or came to Columbia for good old Mizzou, where he was an upstanding member of Marching Mizzou, for our big Mizzou fans there, where he met his wife, bringing new meaning to the term while at band camp. Please welcome to the stage Mr. Eric Morrison.
Hey, Matt did a great job. Give it up for Matt, please. I'm going to tell you, as a kid who went to Mizzou, to stand on the stage at the Blue Note and do anything in front of people, it's kind of a big deal, right? If you went to Mizzou and you came to the Blue Note, it's kind of a big deal. So now, to stand here and get to do something kind of fun is, I don't know, it might cross off the old bucket list, right? Hey, thanks a lot for having me tonight. I know a lot of you in the room had the opportunity to serve on the board of Job Point for 7 years. And right after Steve asked me to join the board, he let me know that the accountants had done the audit of Job Point, and they thought we were going to get a going concern, that we were going to be okay, right? That was a little intimidating, right? So Steve, thanks for that experience. Appreciate that very much. Hey, I spent a lot of time with Steve, and really thankful to be up here tonight, to be part of the group to represent, respect, and roast Mr. Smith. I'm going to leave Sharon alone because I'm more afraid of her than I am of Steve. But in all those meetings with Steve, I learned one thing, and that's to bring 2 handkerchiefs, both of them for him, right? And so Steve Hey, Steve will cry at any of the drop of a hat, which for a guy that wears a hat is kind of a bad deal, right? You may see Steve walking down the street in downtown Columbia, and he's in tears. You may think, oh my God, Steve had a bad day. It's probably just windy, right? He just has a hard time with his hat. No joke. Nobody cares more about Job Point than Steve. Just know you'll long run out of Kleenex before he'll run out of stories about the great work that Job Point has done during his tenure in our more than 60 years. Hey, Steve's a softie, but look, I can't judge. I am too, Steve. Saturday night I was asked to pray before a family dinner, and I kind of welled up. Probably my guilty conscience, 10 years at Mizzou Athletics will do that to you. Hey, the Olympics are coming up, and I want to represent KOU8, our local home for the Olympics, and a long-standing supporter of Job Point. I'll probably cry, I don't know you all, I'll cry during one of those medal ceremonies. Is it because I love America that much? Honestly, no. I hate everybody else more, and I love to see them lose, right? Hey, this is a great thing tonight, but there's a little pressure, I'm used to kind of having a mic. Some of you have seen events I've been at. But you all, this has to be fun, right? Most of the events I'm at are really boring, kind of chicken dinner, breakfast events where people are just happy to have anything remotely entertaining. And that's a good way to describe what we're going to do, probably more. It's remotely entertaining. It's also like you expect to laugh, and with this group, I would lower your expectations pretty significantly. Now, one of us did make a living on TV, right? Karr, super popular newscaster on KOMU, not too many years ago. She was so popular, she got a lot of fan mail from Missouri prisons. Right? I don't remember Nielsen having a demographic for the incarcerated population. Nor do I remember any KOMU8 promos about coverage you can count on behind bars. But kind of gives a new meaning to first alert, right? And speaking of KOMU, Warren's old boss Matt Garrett is here, longtime judge of the court. John Matt chair. They were job for a long time. You may not know, but Matt is a huge whore for ratings, right? In fact, I'm pretty sure those letters Lauren got, Matt returned with an automatic, right? 20 years ago, Matt founded a new division of the chamber called Pfeffer, Emerging Professionals in Columbia. Been very successful, many of us have been involved. Matt is still a member today of Pfeffer, Elderly Professionals in Columbia. We call names, I think. So a lot of you came to laugh tonight, but I bet a lot of you came like, does anybody have the guts to actually come up here and roast the single nicest human being on God's earth? Steve Smith, give it up. There's no material on Steve. Like, you can ask around town, you can ask around other towns, and I did, right? Steve has no dirt, right? There's no skeletons in his closet. He's got Miss America in there delivering Meals on Wheels, right? He's universally respected and asked for counsel. He's a model husband, a model father and grandfather. Sharon, I did not say he's a model. I said he's a model husband, model father, model husband, right? Earlier you told me he was old enough to be a Model T, I think is what you said. Hey, another celebrity here and another roaster, a person that gives so much to our community, the publisher of Como Magazine and Columbia Business Times, Eric Pefferman. Hey, this is a roast of Erica. Be 2-day event, right? I'm not going to say more than that. I was her banker for 5 years, and I'll just leave it at that. One time I asked her if she would consider hiring a CFO. She said, well, if I pay for that, isn't that prostitution? No, that's not what the F stands for. You know, being asked to roast Steve is like if you were asked to roast your mother, right? It's like, I can't come up here and make fun of her, and at the same time, I'm thinking all these things. Stand up straight, right? Mind your manners. Don't use bad language. That's not a roast, right? That's Christmas Eve with the Smiths, right? At church, right? And who came up with the idea of a roast? Anybody thought about that? It makes no sense whatsoever. So we want to represent, we want to come up here and celebrate somebody, so we make fun of them for 2 hours. Who came up with that idea? We keep all that stuff to ourselves while we're working with people, Steve, right? Their foibles, their characteristics we don't like. And then when they retire, they get some special recognition, we air it all out. You know, you are a micromanaging pain in the ass. But I didn't want to say anything, now your family's here, I just want to let you know about it. Right? Just like if we did that anywhere else. Okay? Hey, officer, that guy stole my wallet. You're right, he did. But it's part of the roast of Steve Smith. Oh, I understand. Okay, no problem. Hey, if you use the Southwest Visa, I can use the points, please. Right? Hey, all that time with Steve, he did so much with our public officials. He mentioned them. Really juggled a lot of things, right? Keeping Job Point at the forefront of a lot of people's minds when it came to supporting our programs. In many ways, he was kind of like Red Panda. He's on the unicycle, right? He's got the holes on his feet, he's stacking them up on his head. More times than not, Steve was successful. And a lot of people said, well, hey, it's his servant mindset. It's his great communication skills. I kind of thought that, unlike Red Panda, he was successful because he didn't wear a leotard when he was out there. In my years of meeting with Steve, he would always use one line when he talked about the future. My crystal ball is cracked and cloudy. That's what he would say. Anybody else heard him say that? Right? My crystal ball is up, and I always thought, I get what he's saying, but what the hell does that mean? Seems like kind of a championship way to not take a stand on something to plant the flag, right? But I never really said anything, because as you covered, Steve cries easily, right? I like to be right just like anybody else, but I didn't want to do it at the expense of a grown man crying, right? So Steve, I spared you that one. In all seriousness, it's been great to be up here. Steve has done so much for so many people that we will never know how he's touched their lives. So Steve, for all that great work you did, for caring about every single person that walked through the door at Job Point, for caring about every staff member that set foot in there and worked toward the mission, I just want to say thank you very much, Steve. Okay, as a part gift, here's a brand new clear crystal ball so you can see the future of retirement. Thank you, everybody.
Very nicely done, thank you. All right, we're going to keep this rolling right along. Your next performer, originally from the east side of St. Louis, made her way to the zoo. She has been with Shelter and Surge Insurance for 32 years as the VP of Financial Operations. Over the weekend, you're likely to find her sipping the latest beer at 44 Canteen. And she wants you to know she despises with a passion, and I use her phrasing, idiot drivers who don't know how to use roundabouts. All right. Everyone, please welcome to the stage, Tina Workman.
All right. I don't know if you know how to keep up with Eric. He's really good. This is not even counting. So bear with me. But welcome. I'm so glad you're here. And Steve, Sharon, you ready for me?
Sure.
All right. Let's do this thing. I want to tell you guys about a month ago. I was really sitting and just having a wonderful time on my patio. Birds were singing. I was petting my beautiful golden retriever, Hank. And I was just thought, well, I'll look at the Como magazine. Let's go see what's going on with the community. So I'm flipping through the pages, and I'm like, oh, yeah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. And then I get to this one very glossy, very thick, very audacious page, and if you've not seen it, it says Honey Night. And I looked at Mark and I'm like, crap! What? It says Tina Workman. It says guest starring Tina Workman. And I'm like, I didn't agree to perform. I was just going to go to this thing. I'm not funny. And I still think that you need a Steve. So I just want to say that that's how I found out I was performing. And I remember right over to you are so shameless. So bringing up that Como magazine, we have a fellow roaster here named Erica Pefferman, of course. And I don't know if you saw that lovely little booze wagon. But one of the things that we had a lot of fun with Job Point, we spent 7 years together working with Steve and the whole team, and we started this company Kid, and we were very excited about it. And Erica was like, I'm just so passionate about this, I want this to be so fun. So she got this ginormous, big, huge booze wagon. And she's walking around, and she's like trying to sell, and so she's got this big drink in her hand. She's got a big bowl bar, and she goes, raffle tickets here. So we just did really good on that whole thing. It was really good. Steve, we know all of you, you love to wear your gold-wearing jacket from the chamber. And you spend a lot of time. So, and I also know Wally here also has his own chamber jacket. So I wanted to ask you both, Wally, you can't see him, he's in the back, but how many actual points do you have? And how many trees have you had planted?
5,405 points.
5,405 points.
3 trees.
3 trees. Okay, Steve. What's your numbers? 3,500 and 2 trees. What's up, right? Come on. So when I got there, thought about that, and I didn't know the actual numbers, was like, we're like, do you guys really work, or just go to chamber?
How many points do you have, Tina?
We're not talking about high points. Bad. That's a good point. I want to talk about recently the Shelter Financial team went to a local park and we went to have this barbecue. We're going to play kickball. And we had this ginormous blow up plastic ball. And the team looks at me and they said, we need a teammate. And I'm like, I'm not good at teammates. No, come on, we got to have a teammate. And I'm like, okay, how about kicking assets? Sorry. Yeah, really, the game really sucked, and the ball really sucked, and so we lost, of course. And so what we decided to do was reconcile ourselves over a beer. I promise, that's the only time we're going to get. Sorry. Later, there were some dogs named Wally and Steve, by the way. And they were having some cold beers themselves, and they noticed no one else was wearing a collar. Suddenly they realized they were in a stray bar. This is where you get the rest of the crowds. I don't know well. Sorry. It's funny to me. So I spent several restless weeks just worrying about this performance. And went to my hair appointment. I had this lovely hairstylist named Kenny Gibbons. So I'm sitting in the chair and she's trying to make me pretty, which takes a magician, by the way. I might tell her about this comedy revelation. And she looks at me, and guess what, Steve? You're her neighbor. Does everyone know you? Look at all these people, they all know you. And I just want to say that when I told Kimberly that, she was very glad that you would have some more time to spend on your landscape. Joking, of course. So then I had a chance to talk to Wendell, her husband, and have some cocktails, and I wanted an inside scoop about Steve. And Wendell said, well, you were really good about it. You both coached your girls' basketball team. And that you were really good at coaching and getting ready for the games. And I'm not surprised because you're so smooth and calm, and I could see those girls feeling really confident about that. But then Wendell started cracking up. And he almost started falling out of his chair. He's like, don't let that calm demeanor fool you. If you're a ref and you make a bad call, Steve's going to turn into a raging Bobby Knight. Don't turn out. Sorry. You can just laugh at me, it's all right. I'm not cool with it. Thank you. So, I also hear Wendell tells me you have a huge love for tiger hoops. So I was wondering how that really went last year. And did you get a chance to take the general out of yourself and do a little range? So, anyway, if you guys don't know who general is, what the nickname is on. And then I'm getting close to the end. So you're getting like really tired of me and you're ready for the next performance. Get close, promise you. I know that Eric mentioned about, your hat and your cool sunglasses. I always see you wearing them. And so I was just really wondering, you think you're so cool, don't you? And so then I really thought, who hired you anyway? What were you up to before that witness protection program? Auditioning for the role of the most wanted? And where's the board and the staff? I just really sincerely apologize for that decision on my part, because that 10 or so physical years with Steve as your CEO, so. But I'm done, and I want to say at this time, you are a wonderful, honest person. It's been a pleasure to work with you so many years. You have done so much for Drought Point that I'm so proud of, and you should be proud of as well. And I really wish you and Sharon a wonderful retirement. And I know I'll see you around town wearing your hat, donning your dark sunglasses, and screaming about Tiger basketball. Here's the stage.
See the Workman, everyone. You're a man. The Bobby Knight punchline was so bad. I know.
Emily.
Alright, let's keep it going. Your next performer, originally from St. Louis, has had 45 years as an advisor of Mutual Omaha. He has been to the top of the Jesse Hall Dome, and he is a huge fan of the Broadway Diners, speaking of your highs and lows. The man of many pictures, please welcome to the stage Mr. Wally Pfeffer.
Matt is missing out on a side hustle as an auctioneer. Another applause for Matt. On the booth, okay, we go back 50 years, practically. Oh, wow. Okay. After the first line, then the photo comes up. Steve and I have known each other long enough to remember when we had hair, and I mean big hair. And that was Steve's photo with big hair. But he wasn't the only guilty one. There we go. And folks, you wait and see. Plan is coming back. Not like that, probably. Steve, you now have a new employer who is aware of your genuine work ethic, your organizational abilities, and your talents. There we go. The hardest bosses are spouses. Good luck with it, buddy. Considering how well you performed over the years that you've worked, I have no doubt you'll excel at doing nothing. Like Jim Zarrington and chasing the Royals. Steve, you're going to find that happy hour is the best hour of retirement. Well, that and every other hour. In retirement, stand up there, oh yeah. That's when you stop lying about your age and start lying around the house. Retirement is also the time in your life when you can finally start dressing like you're colorblind. And no one will care except KU fans. Retirement is also when it's like being a kid again, except that you have less hair, more aches, and pain. But you're allowed to have beer with lunch, except at the diner. Your kids are going to laugh at you because they think you're crazy. But you're going to laugh at them because they don't know it's hereditary. There you go. Great looking family. Money isn't everything, but it sure keeps you in touch with your children. Let's see Joaquin. What a great photo. Steve, you're going to love coffee. It's Red Bull for old people. You and Wally. Steve, you can't retire from being brave. Ladies and gentlemen, look around the room. You're going to look at people like you, like Steve, like Sharon. We're all givers here. In 2019, when the Chamber of Commerce rewarded Steve as this outstanding citizen, he didn't just stop. He kept contributing at job point in our community, with his family, with his faith. And so last year, or this year actually, they gave him the Legacy Award. Steve has always, and Sharon too, have always been givers, and we can count on them to continue into retirement, giving to our community. Bless you all.
Wally Pfeffer, everyone, give them a round of applause. Very nice and well. Sometimes you get in these pictures, maybe get one of me, who knows. All right, we're going to keep rolling here. Your next performer, born and raised right here in good old Como. She is the Director of Research Integration at Veterans United, a much more important position in my own where I say no, sir, by identification, and I did not mean a selfie of me by the pool. She was a pageant princess before toddlers and tiaras made it famous. Please welcome Lauren Karr.
Hi, everybody. Thank you guys so much for coming. My name is Lauren Karr, as he said, and I'm the current board chair of John Wayne. I don't know if you figured it out yet, but everybody that has spoken tonight has been board chair at some time, so I was kind of like voluntold to come up here. So you're stuck with me for a little bit. Now, I have been blessed to be a part of this board for about the last 6 years, and I was getting ready to get off the board. You get about 3 years, and then you can kind of go on your merry way. And Rodney Corbin, CEO of Shelter, you guys know him, he called me up about 2 years ago and said, hey, I'm going to be chair. I need a wingman. I need a vice chair. And I was like, cool, I'll do that. Like, how hard can it be? And he was like, it's not going to be hard at all. You're going to be fine. Great. So I joined him, and he's about halfway through his year when he drops the bomb on me. Steve's retiring, and he's doing it on my watch. Yeah. So at first I was like, what? Why would you do that to me? Why would you put me in charge of replacing the irreplaceable? And then I figured it out. I'm a woman. Not only am I a woman, I'm a millennial. I'm the oldest daughter. I'm the firstborn. And I'm the first granddaughter. We have been saving boomers' lives for the last year. Boomers be booming, am I right? So I'm like, look, I can do this. I can do this. And then I start looking and I see like what I have to do to replace Steve. Y'all, when I say I would rather go to the dentist, have dinner with my in-laws, and give birth unmedicated again, all in one day, I need it. I need it. I'm just kidding. I know that's mean. I love my dentist. My dentist is great. Okay, so I started learning. Like I said, everything I had to do to replace Steve, and I realized, holy shit, I'm vastly underqualified. It's like lying on your resume, right? When you say proficient in Excel spreadsheets. I'm proficient at asking someone to do an Excel spreadsheet for me. I get it done. But it's not just replacing Steve. Like, there was other things I learned about being chair, like the budget. Yeah. It's a pretty big budget, right? You want me to trust me to be in charge of this budget when my husband has my Starbucks transactions being on his phone every morning. golf course because that's what I Jeff is also from Jeff City. You might not know that unless you see how his name is spelled. Geoffkarr. Totally screwed up my kids with basic spelling words. Thanks a lot for that, buddy. Jeff and I actually met in college. He was my waiter every Tuesday.
Whoa!
I went to lunch with my mom. Speaking of volunteering, my mom volunteered me to go out with him. Luckily it worked, he didn't kill me. He's still around. It's been about 18 years now. We have 2 awesome kids that I love so much. And because I love them so much, I volunteer to watch them every Thursday through Sunday while he's out pretending he's a PGA player. Love you, babe. I have to go back to the budget thing though, because not only does he watch my Starbucks transactions, I don't know if you noticed, I'm the one that started the newswagon bit. I did it twice. He's texting me. I swear to God. He literally texted me the face. So I'm gonna let him go. So what I've learned from all of this is that I'm just not good at volunteering. I have to stop volunteering. There was this one time, my daughter was in 4th grade, and I volunteered to go with her on her school field trip, and it was out at Rockbridge State Park. This is after 3 days of monsoon weather. For all of you who've been to Rockbridge State Park, you know what that means, right? Disgusting. It was muddy. It was gross. So I get stuck with this teacher who couldn't care less where his students were, and I'm bringing up the rear in the middle of nowhere in the state park. It's raining. It's muddy. I'm not even with my kids' class. I just got put with this teacher. And there's this one little girl who just does not understand speed. She's just trying to get her speed up. She's not talking to me. I'm hey, I'm not kidding. We're going to get lost. She looks at me. She's don't you have 5G? I'm it doesn't matter. We are out in the middle of the Rockbridge State Park. I need you to speed up. This little girl has the audacity to look up at me and go, who even are you? I told her she was either going to be the last person she ever saw, or I was going to be her savior. But one way or the other, I was not dying in the state park 3 miles from my house. So we got her going. Let's get back to Steve. Steve and his retirement. So again, you'll remember, I am now in charge of finding his replacement. So as the oldest daughter, millennial, woman, I do what I do best. I found lots of really smart people to help me out, and I just stood at that. And I'm really excited because we are really, the future of Joplin is bright. I'm so excited. It's going to be awesome. That's what we're here tonight, right? Are we here to celebrate Joplin, Steve? We are. There are so many of you out in the audience that I see, that I love, that I know. I've seen you guys all throughout my history here in Columbia. Wally Pfeffer just came up. You guys see Wally? Great out for Wally. I don't know if you know this. It's hard to recognize him without his camera. You guys notice that? He's the resident cameraman of Columbia. I actually at home have an entire album of photos taken of me and my family unbeknownst to me. Not creepy at all. Not creepy at all. Eric Morrison also came up. Did you guys see Eric? Yeah? Eric, an amazing person here in Columbia. He's done so much for us. He also is an alumni of Promo Magazine's 20 Under 40. Woo! It's funny though, because Eric's the only one that's ever received that award. He was 52.
I know! Fair!
Looking great, looking great. Tina, just got to meet you. Hello. So nice meeting you. I have a favorite story about accountants. What is the best birth control for accountants? Their personality. I'll buy you a shot. I can't forget Erin Pefferman. Patty's coming up next. Oh, Erica. What can I say about Erica? She runs a business. She's on 28 boards. She's a parent. And yet she still has time to find time to hang out have a dirty martini, and do some mad man hate sessions.
Yes!
Oh, and I have talked some shit about men with Erica. In fact, you spilled that NDA about Jeff that one time, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Keep that on the down low. Okay, I'm gonna wrap it up. Obviously, we're here to talk about Steve. Half of my jokes have already been given, so you're just gonna have to pretend that you haven't heard them, okay? But Steve, our dear sweet Steve, the guy who says, "I'll be brief," and then continues to talk for 25 minutes without a breath. You know, you've been in those board meetings. That is brief. Steve, who actually truly calls alcohol pooch. Like, he's and obviously, you've all seen Steve around town with his hat. The little Rico Suave that Steve is, half Robin Hood, half Peter Pan, but looking damn. In all reality, you're irreplaceable, you're unroastable. We love you so much. We're gonna miss you, Sharon. You got a good one. Thank you for sharing it with us all these years. I appreciate and love you both. Thank you guys for coming.
Very nice. All right, we have got one final roaster. Originally from Joplin, she is the president of Como Companies, which owns Como Magazine, the business lines and Como Marketing. She is a Patriots fan in cheese country. If that wasn't a reason to move, she's one of those people who puts up her Christmas lights before Thanksgiving.
Yep.
Welcome to the stage, Erica Pefferman.
Hello, everyone. Okay. All right. Well, I really intended to do a clean show tonight, but you assholes really took your shots over here. So we're going to start that until right now. Okay. Some of you might remember me from I was chair 2019, and I did stand-up comedy that year for this fine fundraiser that we do. And I did a skit on dating in your 40s versus dating in your 20s. It was 2.5 times longer than I was supposed to do, at the record number of F-bombs, but that was some funny shit. So I actually ended with a joke on ED. None of the men found it funny, but the women were dying. So the question is tonight, and many people ask me, can I do tonight clean? And I said, I can do it. I can do a clean show. So does anybody want to make this a fundraiser? Place bets on whether I can make it or not? Go ahead, we'll take them. So I just can't let the night go without talking about Wally. I love Wally. Wally is amazing. He is the town's photographer. We all know that, which is interesting. I like to be the photographer to show the beautiful photos of Columbia, but when we're talking about quantity versus quality, Wally has quantity he nailed. One of the things that I think of when I think of Wally is I've never had so many shitty photos taken of me in my whole life. And so, every time I'm looking at my phone and it's like, ding, Wally Pfeffer tagged you in the photo, I'm like, fuck, single! Okay, because we're not saying fuck, remember? So I'm like, okay, this can't be good. And of course I look at it and it's not good because this isn't the place for me talking and making exactly what I look like, but there are 17,000 photos of Erica looking, well, like I do on a Friday night about 2 a.m. So, Steve Smith, when they asked me to roast you, I was like, what the hell are you talking about? Like, this is the nicest human I've ever met, right? Like, how are we supposed to roast? I watched roasts. I watched Tom Brady's roast. Patriots! It's stuck right now, but it's okay. I'm a lifelong fan. Nikki Glacier, she was hilarious. Did you guys see her? So I was like, I nicety niceness is really fucking annoying. So I was like, damn it, that was a clean show. Okay. So we're gonna start over from right now. Okay, go tell Susan Karr. Nobody tell Susan. Okay. So I was thinking, like, girls, you know what I'm talking about, right? Like there is this skinny girl, and she's really nice, and everybody likes her, and she goes to PTA, and she makes her own fucking cupcakes. And we like her, and we're like, God, that's so annoying! You're that girl. Definitely that girl, the blonde cutie that everybody lives and also hates. So I decided that since I can't say anything really bad about you, that I would just talk about what it's like to be on your board for 7 years. Because I was on this board for 7 years, I was a chair, and then they kicked you out because you stay too long and say too many F words, they just like kick you out. So anyway, so I came up with what would Steve do? Okay, so that's what we're going to talk about. Is what would Steve do? So a budget crisis. What would Steve do? Well, I happen to know because Matt Garrett brought me onto the board. He's fine, everything's wrong, it's great, it's great. And I was like, okay. And I come on at my first meeting, budget crisis. Like, we're losing houses, like, we're losing, things are bad, okay? And Steve and I came on the same year. We were on board at the exact same time. And so all of a sudden, we lose the CEO, somebody's got to step up. Of course, it's our fucking good Samaritan, Steve said. And so Steve steps up, and he's got his yellow pad, and he's like, so this is how Steve handles a budget crisis. Well, so and we run expenses. And so, like, he just does it beautifully. It's very, it makes a lot of logical sense. And then I'm on there, like, what in the, where did our money go? This is why you do make a decision. I'm freaking out. And not Steve, he's got a yellow head. And he did that for months until we were in good shape. And this guy saved chocolate. I just panicked. I was the one panicking, and he was the one like, we got a yellow pad. We're fine. So, another what would Steve do moment. I love it because Laura kind of talked about it a little bit tonight. He's really famous for like, I'm just gonna say this is no self-coding. You know, so then he says his thing, he stops talking. So that's what Steve would do. What Erica does, not me. I'm still talk because I have an opinion, and you're all gonna hear about it, and we're gonna put it in the notes. And one year I was secretary, and I put it all in the notes. So, Steve, he'll just stop talking here in a minute. After he looks at his cracked ink belly. Crystal ball. Crystal ball! What would Steve do? This is another example. Well, this is actually, we'll call this hypothetical situation. Okay? So, what would Steve do? You have a bad employee. You gotta get rid of a bad employee. What would Steve do? Anybody? Nothing. Because he's too fucking nice. Okay? So what would Erica do? I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to invite you to live elsewhere. You're fine. Leave now. But no, Steve likes to coach them into their full potential. And we'll eventually get there someday. I'm like, yeah, get out. So that's why Steve's better CEO than I am. What would Steve do? Cocktail party. Hear me out, okay? Steve's cocktail party. Steve and Sharon, one flavor in this. We're gonna have some nice meats and cheeses, some punch. Maybe if things get a little crazy and a little drunk. Okay? Me, Erica's cocktail party. We got pickle shots. We're gonna do bottles of bourbon. We got cake stands. This is a good time. We're gonna raise some money for chocolates. It's all fine. Honestly, it's really who's making from. So, anyway, I just wanted to say that spending 7 years with this guy was amazing. I have never been more drawn to a mission in my whole life than I have been to John Point. I love that you guys are here tonight. You're going to give, you're going to make pledges. You bought the booze wagon. Thank you. But there are some of us that consider this our life's work and have made this into a legacy gift. And because of Steve, I have done that. And so I expect and hope that some of you see the same mission. Maybe you want to talk to the staff about doing the same thing. So, Steve, you have done an amazing job. So, well done, good people servants.
There's a couple of everybody. Give her a nice little applause. And much less great here after this performance in the last video. Thank you so much. And folks, one last final applause for Steve Sterling. The man who continues to We're going to keep the show rolling now with your professional comedians. You guys ready for your professional comedians tonight?